No, switch to... I'll get that when there's more things on the way that I know I want to play. That's my plan. Now, it's weird. I think it's weird to say because it's like I like Mario Kart. I think Mario Kart's pretty swell, but how do I explain this? I don't care enough about Mario Kart to want to buy the system day one, right? So yeah. I'm probably not gonna watch anybody play it either. I don't really know. I think it's one of those games that I will probably enjoy myself at some point. But there will be a lot of people playing it for a long period of time. We're currently doing Night Rain. Sugar. Dolphin. Alright, where are we? We did Bubble Cup. Alright, we're on Cannon Cup. Autumn Leaves, District 65, Candy Coaster, Lunar Lantern Festival. Gotcha. No, we're currently on the Night Rain grind. I mean, I'm not playing that game. However, there are people who are playing it, like, for 9 hours a day. And they're grinding for... you know, doing literally everything possible in the game, and then they're gonna stop playing it, and they're gonna be like, man, that game was fun, I guess. You know how it goes. I've said this so many times, but the era of content creation has, like, destroyed some people's faculties to the point where they will take new thing and they will absolutely fucking destroy themselves on it. And then just not ever play it again. It's the desire to be number one. I have to be the number one source of information. Oh. Big tricks. Huge tricks. Now that is a cool trick. I'm not particularly interested in Night Rain, which isn't really to say much, because who the fuck cares what I'm interested in? Who cares? But I don't know, it seems neat. I hope it's fun, but I also do think that there's gonna be a couple people who are gonna... There's gonna be a couple people who aren't gonna have a favorable opinion of the game. Or a less than favorable opinion after the fact, just because, well, they just played it for like 15 hours a day, right? No, like, okay, if there's anything I'm interested in Mario Kart World for, legitimately, I'm interested in just driving around the world and looking for the secrets and just kind of enjoying that. Not even like racing other people. I mean, probably will do that at some point, because why not? But I'm genuinely interested in just kind of exploring the world, finding the secrets in the overworld. Oh, whoops. I'm not gonna do a trick there. Oh, that was where I shouldn't have done a trick. Gotcha. Well, that... Good thing that accounted for that, huh? Oh! Wow. Alright. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Slip on that bitch. He's not gonna get hit by that. Old Bowser is. Alright. I like, that's actually something I like about video games, but it's weird, because I don't really like the open world genre. But then, if you ask me, like, what part about video games do you like the most? And to me, the answer is seeing the world that's crafted within the game. Yet, if you ask me my opinion on Breath of the Wild, I'll tell you that I got bored of it on, like, 3 separate occasions. So, I've never really played that much of it. I know how that sounds. What the fuck? Baby Luigi is just stuck. Homeboy is actually just stuck. That's actually good that that happened, because I was definitely about to do that. I almost had that fucking happen again. Now King Boo fell, and he can't get up. Did Baby Luigi... 8:36. Baby Luigi finished 8 minutes and 36 seconds. I don't know how the game even decided that, but he took 4 additional minutes to finish. And we just didn't end the... There should be a fucking mercy rule. Bro, don't make him play anymore. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. District 65. Oh, God. This looks fucked. No, so I said this before. Pokemon Snap. I really like Pokemon Snap. Because it's a game where you go around and you take pictures of Pokemon in their natural environment, right? Holy shit. Should not be on the road. Go straight or turn right. Okay. They're so fast. Thanks, Dad. Holy fuck. What is this shit? Somebody didn't get the memo that this was a racetrack. Bro! Give me a break. What is this shit? Turn left. Yeah, alright. What was I saying? No, I like Pokemon Snap because you take pictures of Pokemon in their natural environment and you interact with them in ways to make them kind of... Nice rock. You just make them like... You influence the environment, which I think is really neat. But that game's also a rail shooter, so you're always put in the way of things. Even to an extent with like Scarlet and Violet, it wasn't grand, and Arceus as well. It wasn't grand. In fact, the only reason I really could tolerate Arceus is because each segment of open world was kind of like blocked. It's kind of blocked into chunks for the open world. So I didn't mind it as much. That was definitely something I could see until I fucking fell in it. Oh, this is not a good track. There's only one lap. And we're not doing too well. Well, I'm glad you're faster than me despite having this on my head. Well, alright then. This is absurd. That's fucking unreasonable. What the hell? That is unreasonable. Why am I chasing a boulder? I can't even focus on anything. Dude. I'm gonna fall off. No, I'm not. Well, apparently everybody else is. Thanks, Dad. That was terrible. That was fucking terrible. That's what that was. Alright. Alright, whatever. Okay. So I was saying, ooh, it's neat. Like, in Snap and like Arceus, like, it's a condensed world that you can explore. Snap obviously less so, because it's a rail shooter kind of thing. Oh god. But in Breath of the Wild, it's a big world, but there's not really anything there that I'm interested in, like, looking at, you know? So, it's like, okay, so I go to there's shrines. You go to shrines. I get that. Whoa. You do go to shrines, but otherwise, what do you find exploring the world of Hyrule in Breath of the Wild? You find monster encampments. You find different weapons. Like, what do you find? What do you get to see in the world of Hyrule while exploring in Breath of the Wild? Because I never really played enough to know the answer because I couldn't find anything to really care for. I got bored. There wasn't, I didn't enjoy running around the world because to me the world was more empty than it was bountiful. But in Arceus, even when the world is a little bit empty in places, okay, it's fine-ish because the maps are sectioned up. So I can explore this area and I can be like, okay, I know there's certain Pokemon that spawn in this location, but otherwise, you know, oh, that still hit me. All right. Well, that's another thing. Side quests in Breath of the Wild were not very useful. And some of them were like utterly ludicrous. I remember a side quest I got that, like the side quest that I got that wasn't just a fucking tutorial was like, can you sneak into Hyrule Castle and find me a cookbook? Bro, I have 4 hearts. What do you mean, sneak into Hyrule Castle and find you a cookbook? I have 2 shrine upgrades. What are you gonna give me for this? Are you like 50 rupees? What am I gonna do with 50 rupees? Excuse me? You just told me to enter the endgame area for 50 rupees. What? Then I got another quest in like a fucking outpost that was like, oh gee, I sure wish I could see the legendary Blade of Evil's Bane. Could you go find that for me? Like, yeah, alright brother. Let me just go fucking pull up the Master Sword real quick and show it to you so you can be like, gee Willikers, that's cool. Here's $20. Like, bro? Alright. So yeah, side quests in Breath of the Wild weren't that interesting. Now, Tears of the Kingdom, maybe it was better. I don't know. I don't know. I will say there is something I don't particularly like about Breath of the Wild, and that is the weapon durability system, because I feel like what it intended is not what was received by its player base, where it's weapons have durability, so you use them. Ooh, this is cool. You use them. Chinese dragon, Wiggler. And they break and you're encouraged to get more, but realistically all it does is it makes you gather a bunch of really good weapons and then never use them out of fear of breaking them. But the problem is that the further in the game you get, the more the enemies start advancing, and by advancing I mean they're just harder to kill. Oh, it's like a blarg. It's like a blarg. Or I guess Gobblegut, who I guess is kind of blarg-like. Oh, jeez. Bro, you didn't have to do that. I recognize this music, and I don't know where. This isn't the same. This isn't the track from fucking. Oh, look, we got the Thwomps based on the Odyssey ones. Thwomps based on the Odyssey Womps. Okay. I did do Eventide Island, but that's a shrine, not a quest. Eventide Island is a shrine. It's just the shrine quest is finding the shrine. There's a few of them like that. So I admit the shrines are varied in a way that can be interesting. You know what I did for Eventide Island? You know what I did? I rolled stasis bombs down a cliffside for 30 minutes to kill the Hinox who had the ball on its neck. That's what I did. You wanna know something really funny? That I was doing that, and then it started to lightning, and I got scared. So I went and slept to make the lightning go away, and then a blood moon happened, and all of my progress on the island got reset, enemy-wise, and I was like, cool. So I played Plinko with a Hinox for 30 minutes, rolling stasis bombs down a cliffside to hit him and do actual chip damage, and eventually he died. That's what I did. Don't ever fucking tell me that I'm impatient. Alright? Don't ever tell me I'm impatient. I did that. Instead of just leaving and coming back, that's what I did. Now here's why I really don't like the durability system. And it's not that the player encouragement aspect, it's it punishes players for being good at the game. So what does that mean? So you know how Kakariko Village gives you a quest to go to like the water side to like find the people who are like attacking, or the Bokoblins that are attacking like the sheep, right? And you go down to the beach and you can see an island with a shrine, and you can go to that shrine and you'll find a major test of strength where you have to fight a guardian. And it's like, you're not prepared to fight that. So I fought that thing with my loadout, and then I broke all of my weapons on it before I could kill it. And I was like, that's bullshit. Like, I couldn't kill it, not because I wasn't skilled enough to dodge its attacks and be good. It's that I literally didn't have enough damage with my weapon loadout to kill it. So, despite all of my work and effort, I was just told, no, you can't. Your weapons aren't good enough. And I was like, that's stupid. That's dumb. I hate being punished for that. And you know what? Same thing happened again. I'll explain in a second. For the week that I tried Genshin Impact, I found that enemies just stopped taking real damage, so every form of combat was a chore. All of it. But that's whatever. That's fine. Also, actually exploring the map yields the lowest amount of actual fucking EXP to do anything with. So very fun game. Very well structured. But what really kind of put me over the edge for it, Mushroom Cannon, Honeymoon Loon, Bowser's Termination Station, Motorcat's Dirt Derby, Acrobatic Airway, was when I ran into like random challenge. Oh! Ooh, this is really cool. It's on the moon. Odyssey themed. I ran into a challenge that was like, kill these enemies in this amount of time, and I could not do it because I could not do enough damage. And at that point I was like, what's even the point of playing? Every single fucking combat experience I have is just ruined because I have no DPS. It's not fun to fight anything because I don't do any damage. And then they have things that are like, oh, you have to do it in this amount of time or you fail. And then it's like, well, so I'm just getting DPS checked now. Skill is irrelevant. It doesn't matter how good you are, and are like, you know, when people play fucking Dark Souls challenges, and be like, okay, I'm gonna beat this boss with my bare hands. And they will beat a boss to death with their bare hands. And it will take a long time, but they are allowed to do that. There's no time limit. There's no DPS check. Timers and platformers are different because in platformers it's about execution. But putting a timer on combat, usually, more often than not, is just a check to make sure you're doing enough damage. But like, it's shitty because, again, if you're good at the game and you can, and it's the kind of combat that you can actively participate and move around in, not like an RPG, you shouldn't be punishing the players for failing their DPS check. You should be rewarding the players for being stupid enough to fucking play for that long for no other reason than they could. So yes, I think timed missions for combat missions like that are really bad. Unless combat damage is kind of like fixed to the extent that like you're not supposed to just be power grinding levels to do more damage. Anyway, I ever tell you that platformers are the best type of video game? They are. Alright. How do you still have classes? It's June 2nd. Most people are finished at the end of May, aren't they? It's, well, actually, summer is, high school summer is next month. Basically the end of this month. Curriculums. How are you in front of me, dude? Oops. Oh my. That's hitting his ass. Yes. This is a very good track. Consistent all the way through. Ooh, close. Southern Hemisphere. The South ain't real. Come on now. No, I think platformers are some of the best video games. I like video games that require input from the player. Those are fun. Bowser's Termination Station. He's gonna kill people here. Ooh. Puzzle platformers can be good. Okay, my issue with puzzle platformers is actually when they become more platformer than puzzle. That sounds really weird to say, but I think that it's actually a bad thing when your puzzle solution requires, like, too much platforming expertise. You remember that game I played, Metroid? That game was a puzzle platformer, and it was pretty good. But by the end of it, it was more platformer than puzzle. So, but like, when you fail a puzzle, you kind of have to restart the puzzle from the beginning, which meant that if you failed the platforming section, which there would be multiple, you would have to restart the entire puzzle. And at that point, it's not even really that fun. And the extra stage was like that too. I didn't even play the extra stage. The extra stage started and was like, you have no equipment, and here's like fucking tight jumps you have to do over spikes. And I was like, no thanks. I'm good. So if you're gonna do a puzzle platformer, I think it's important that one stays, the puzzle should always be more prominent than the platformer, unless the ratio is like 80-20. Having puzzles in platformers is fine, but when the majority of the game, because you can kind of tell when I say that, like, if the game is supposed to be a puzzle game more than a platformer, your movement is going to be limited, right? And again, Metroid is a good example of this, because in Metroid, you can only single jump. That's it. Nitori can move and jump, and she has to use her gear for other methods of transportation to like go up or to go across and stuff like that, right? She has to use her gadgets to platform more. But then, like, some of the execution that it started asking of the player with these limited ranges of motion was kind of annoying. And it got even worse in the extra stage. Not that I would know how much worse it got, but there's a playlist that exists. One person, as far as I know, has actually done that. One person has done that. It's like 20 parts. They have like a 20-part series of just that extra stage. So yeah, apparently it's pretty rough. But the rest of the game was pretty solid. But I was definitely ready to stop playing after the end of the final area. Because I was just like, this is becoming a little less, a little too tedious for me. Yeah, you can look it up. Detroit Extra Stage. You'll probably find it. But it's just a massive, massively chunked, segmented run of that extra stage. Oh. Oh boy. Woo!
Close.
Rumia Throws be a puzzle platformer? Not really. Well, kind of. Yes. Kind of. So, Rumia Throws is more of a platformer game, but every now and again you get a level that's more about solving how to beat it. Extra so if you're doing it without taking damage. We saw that in the extra stage. Motor Cat's Dirt Derby. The extra stage had a couple of quote-unquote puzzles that would they didn't really feature many enemies, but most of the levels in the game are just about using the resources available to you. Using the resources available to you. Okay, I guess I have a bullet now. To figure out the best course of action for dealing with the enemies. The extra stage is a little different because, specifically for the extra stage, they're all like one-screen rooms. And it's just about solving it efficiently, or even just solving it in general. And again, you get a lot of freedom in the sense that you have multiple HP, but if you're going for no damage, then you have to figure out how to solve the whole thing properly. Granted, there are also some levels that have instant death spikes that you have no choice but to do without getting hit effectively. It's weird to hear this. You know what, chat? This actually just reminded me. Before I went live, I found a video uploaded yesterday, right? Uploaded yesterday. It said nostalgic Pokemon music, right? I was like, okay, nostalgic Pokemon music, sure, why not? I'll click it. And the first track was from Black and White 2, and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that game is old. That's pretty old. And then I looked further in the playlist, and it had multiple tracks from Super Mystery Dungeon, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and Legends Arceus. That's not nostalgia, my guy. That's like 3 years ago. The oldest, I think the honest to God, the oldest track. I think the oldest track of that entire playlist was probably the track from Black and White. That's nostalgic. That's not nostalgia. You can't be nostalgic for Legends Arceus. I won't allow it. I will not allow that. That's my block, kid. Send him flying. Well, great. It's got the same item block 3 times. Alright. Good old nostalgia. Good old nostalgia. Do you know what nostalgic Pokemon music is to me in my Unk status? That is Pokemon, that is chiptune music. Shit from the GB games. Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal. Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald. That's nostalgic for me. Those are the games I grew up with. I'm old. Old ass man. Damn it. Only you were a little faster, my jet bubble. Ho 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 ho. All our childhood consoles are retro. That's true. Bro, at this point, the fucking Wii is retro. The Wii is like approaching 20. That shit is retro. It's fucked up. This game is UNC status. Acrobatic Airway. I worry about this. This track looks like it's gonna have a lot of problems, but we'll see. Route 3839 from Gen 2. Well, this is the rival theme from Gen 3. Or as mix. I don't remember route themes at all. Like, at all. The only route theme I can remember, like, by name is Route 109 from, Route 109 from Diamond Pearl Platinum. The one below Seleucian Town. Classic. I forgot the rival had a theme in this game, which came up last time I played, that came up last time I played this, actually. Only ever played Sun and Moon. Did you enjoy it? I'm curious about that because Sun and Moon has a lot of issues, and I think it sets a bad idea for what Pokemon games are, based on what Pokemon games used to be. Because the older Pokemon games are great games. Oh. I think pretty much every Pokemon game prior to 3DS is worth playing if you've played a 3DS game and thought that it wasn't that bad. That's not to say I think X and Y are bad, but I think all the games that came before it are better. Black and White and Black and White 2 are a little special in a sense, but Black and White 2 are my favorite personally, so that's why I would always include those. It's interesting because Black and White and Black and White 2 can effectively be considered different games, so you could play Black and White and then play Black and White 2. And you'd be getting kind of a similar experience from playing back to back, but also differences in story-based stuff if you were interested in that. Otherwise, if you were just looking for a de facto Generation 5 game to play for Pokemon, then Black and White 2 is your go-to for sure. But I would honestly recommend them both if you've never played Black and White 1, if only just for context for stuff in Black and White 2. It's cool seeing old characters. You know what I mean? Like, for example, in Generation 2, when you beat the game, you beat Lance, you go to Kanto, you beat all of Kanto, and they're like, now go to Mount Silver, and you climb Mount Silver, and you meet the protagonist of the first game, and you're like, holy shit. There's no stronger trainer in the world than the guy you just were playing as last game. That is one of the greatest fucking moments in all of video game history, is confronting Red. How every subsequent appearance of Red in the game's universe confirms that he actually just doesn't talk. He actually just doesn't speak. He's a silent protagonist through and through. It's not just that he doesn't speak because he's the main character, but like when you meet him, he's just always like that. What the fuck is he doing up top Mount Silver anyway? Like, bro is looking for the hardcore grinding spots. You think he would just be training, right? How many years passed between Black and White 2? 2 years. 2 years pass. There's very little information on time. I'm pretty sure Gold and Silver and Crystal take place 2 or 3 years after the events of Gen 1. I don't remember, but Black and White 2 is 2 years. We gotta be funky. Let's pick the fucking weird car again. Yeah. Alright. Ruby's Cup. SSBB Mario Circuit. Wait, really? Okay. Bomb Raceway. Obstagoon's Palace and Area 64. The SSBB Mario Circuit is the level from Brawl. Yeah, it's like a figure 8. Okay. This is the car that doesn't, like, drift. But it just has ridiculous turning. Goofy ass cart. Yeah. I don't need the drift with this one, boys. Like a Gen 3, I want to play it. I have no way to play. You're kidding, right? You're joking. You're joking. Bow. I wasn't paying attention. On what OS? What do you mean? What do you, like, you can emulate on every OS known to man. Every single one of them. Windows, Mac, Linux, Android. You can do, there's an emulator for all of this. Are you kidding me? My shitty phone had a fucking Game Boy Advance emulator that could play Game Boy Advance games. Bro. Phones are strong. Yes, phones are definitely strong enough to run DS emulators nowadays. Unless you were like fucking Charlie in the Chocolate Factory levels of poverty right now, you can play a fucking Pokemon game. Alright? You can play a fucking Pokemon game. Don't try to tell me you can't play a Pokemon game. Well, this is convenient. Yo, the squid saw that and was like, nah. Nah, that ain't my game. Bro was out. Mac is not poverty, it's just stupid. Yeah, it is. You probably shouldn't own one. But there are emulators for Mac. People have made emulators for Mac. You know the original XD randomizer that I wanted to play years and years ago was exclusively for Mac for a while? Yeah, I thought this would be based on Bomb Battlefield. It's based on the 3D, the DS remake. The nice thing about the GBA one is GBA also lets you play Game Boy, so you can play the entire, you can play the first 3 generations of Pokemon, no problem. Oh. I mean, you could, but you know, you know. Ha 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 ha, right? Hee 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 hee. Thank you for the raid, Christian. Oh yeah. Go in the warp zone. Ooh. That's cool. They hollowed out the mountain to make the warp matchup. Oh, you can ramp over to the island. Oh, that's poggers. Oh shit! That's alright. Ha! Take the bomb on cannon. See, I think Pokemon is one of those, Pokemon's one of those games that's really easy to want to come back to play. It's also one of the best types of games, I think, for a randomizer. But it depends on how much you randomize. I've had this conversation before, numerous times, about how that was beautifully positioned. The fun of randomizers can pretty quickly die out depending on how much shit you randomize. So you kind of just want to use it to spice. I basically just want to use it to spice up like the general Pokemon you'll be seeing, just so you can change it up. But it's funny because while I do that, there's a pretty often I'll just find Pokemon that I like and then use them. And it's like, okay, so it's a randomizer, and the variety is definitely there for a little bit, but then I find a Pokemon I like, and I'm like, I'm using you. And then I have a team of Pokemon that I like that probably aren't natively, you know, they're not really native to the game itself. Oh boy. It's probably best you just play an original run of a game first, though. Whoa. Red, blue, and yellow. I mean, if you want to split hairs, you should definitely play Fire Red and Leaf Green. You should definitely play Heart Gold and Soul Silver. And honestly, I don't think you should need to play Auraz. Auraz can be something that you play later. But in terms of what games you should play, you should experience Gen 1 and 2 on their remakes, and you should experience Gen 3 in its original form. I truly believe that. Oh yeah. I actually haven't played Auraz since like it came out, so I plan on playing it at some point, be it on my own or otherwise. But yeah, I straight up haven't played that game in a long time. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are better than Gold and Silver. That's the problem. The problem with Gold and Silver and Crystal, Obstagoon's Palace. Okay. There he is. The problem with Gen 2 is mainly the movesets. A lot of Pokemon in the original Gen 2 do not have good learn sets at all. A lot of them really suck. Ow. And what? Magneton could not learn Thunderbolt. He didn't learn Thunderbolt, he learned Zap Cannon. Heracross learned Megahorn at like level 52. Otherwise it had like nothing. Like, so many Pokemon have terrible learn sets in that game. The other problem I have with Generation 2 is that a majority of the Pokemon you can catch are Gen 1 Pokemon that require an annoying evolution gimmick. What does that mean? It means evolution stones, which are not easy to come by in Gen 2, or trade. Even less likely you're going to come by. Fortunately, and you can do this with a randomizer setting. You can actually use a randomizer setting. You don't have to randomize anything, but you can make it so impossible evolutions are possible. It'll make Pokemon like Kadabra and Haunter evolve at level 36. So you can actually use, like, you can actually catch a fucking Machop, a Ghastly, an Abra, and a Machop. I might have said him already. And you can actually use them and evolve them. There's such a massive restriction on which Pokemon you can use in Gen 2 because so many of the Pokemon you can regularly find or suck, or they evolve via that method of annoyance. So if you do play an original game, it's worth randomizing just so you can evolve the trade-only Pokemon, so you can actually use them. Because the trade-only Pokemon are pretty cool, but you won't be able to actually use them with trading requirements. So you should definitely pop a randomizer and only check that box. Scizor is not a very good Pokemon until it gets Bullet Punched. It's kind of crazy to think about. Scizor has a really bad move pool. Like a really bad move pool. It's got stats, but it's got a terrible move pool. That would get better when it got access to one of the best moves in the game. With its ability Technician, plus Stab, giving it a ridiculously strong priority move. But yeah, Scizor is not a very... He's not a very good Pokemon. Watched a video on Scizor by old Jimothy about what Scizor did in Gen 3, which I thought was neat. A very niche, yet predictable, sure, reversal sweeper type Pokemon with an immunity to Sandstorm being the big thing for it. I don't remember where I've heard this music before, but I know I have. Gen 4 is the same with Trade Evolutions? I don't remember. See, are you talking about Platinum? Or are you talking about Diamond and Pearl? Because Diamond and Pearl already has a glaring issue with its Pokedex, as most people are aware of. But Platinum, I believe, rectified most of it. Trade evils are unavoidable, but yes, I think you are right that you should just plop in the randomizer just so you can make impossible evolutions possible, just for the sake of making your game more enjoyable. I don't know where I went. Well, alright. I ain't got a clue what just happened, but I won. This is from Tekken 8. Oh, is it? Okay. It sounds like I've heard it before, but I don't know where I've heard it before. Gen 4 has 2 fire types. Incorrect. Diamond and Pearl has 2 fire types. Area 64. Platinum fixed that. And Heart Gold and Soul Silver also doesn't have that issue. There's a cow floating in a tractor beam over there. Alien. Ooh. Elegant Palace stage. From Tekken 8. That's a recent ass track then, huh? Mini Trainer Haunter and Everstone. I saw a video that apparently stated that the reason that trade evolution doesn't work isn't because of the Everstone, but it's just because the nature of NPC trades prevents it from working. But the game just gives an Everstone to it to make you think that that's why it doesn't work. She is still a bitch for doing it, though. Holy alien behavior. Oh, God. Where am I going? Why are aliens so obsessed with abducting cows? Well, alright. Mary B. Glurp, 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 glurp. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Some Pokemon in Gen 2 are they're just really bad. Look at Skarmory. Also, I should say, another reason why you should play Heart Gold and Soul Silver over Gold, Silver, Crystal, for whatever fucking reason, I really don't know why, they decided in Gen 2, and Gen 2 only, that Pokemon can just flee the battle if they want to. And let me tell you this, rare Pokemon love to do that. Pokemon with low encounter rates love to just fucking run away in the middle of the fight. They love doing that. So yeah, that's a cool feature. Imagine looking for a 5% encounter, finding it, and it fleeing immediately. Skarmory is a Gen 3 Pokemon. Skarmory is basically a Gen 3 Pokemon, yes. Skarmory may as well not exist in Gen 2. Even though Skarmory is really cool. You gotta stop trying to turn, streamer. Moo. Okay, well. Octumba. This isn't looking too good. Can I have a bullet? Can I have a bullet? I came over here for an item, but like, everybody's already done the race. Well, that was poorly played. Wow. Okay. 11111. Cool. 11111. Repeat. Jeez. Yes, Mischievous. Mischievous and Larvitar are only accessible in Mount Silver. There's no indication of those Pokemon even fucking existing anywhere in the game. But you can find them at the very end of it. The real fucking kicker is that Larvitar is like level 20. Hello?
Let's go.
Like, oh, what's this little creature? Oh, it's shit. Turbo Ring Cup. Spike Desert Blutopian Valley Subspace Factory SCD Special Stage. Sonic CD Special Stage, huh? Alright. Spike. Uh-huh. Most hacks I've seen make it so Larvitar is catchable in Mount Mordor or Dark Cave. It's not like he's a particularly good Pokemon, and the odds of you actually having a Tyranitar at a good point in the game is still very, like, non-existent, but like, you're not gonna have better than a Pupitar in the Elite Four, that's for sure. Wow. Big boost. Big boosty. Desert levels. Look at these big guys. Bayside Boulevard. Boulevardy. Whee! Oh, okay. Bye. The sands of time. Gen 2, I think an issue with Gen 2 in general is like very randomly obscure placings for different Generation 2 Pokemon. Natu, Smeargle, and Girafarig are only findable in the grass that you have to like go through Union Cave to get to reach at the Ruins of Elf. Why? I don't know. Why indeed? It's a good fucking question, isn't it? Pokemon like Quillfish. I don't think anybody even knows what a Quillfish is. Corsola? The fuck's a Corsola? I've never heard of that Pokemon in my life. Not like it's any good. That's fire, it seems. Well, alright. This isn't having a good time here. That's okay. Yeah. 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 I'm going around, damn it. Surely there are other examples. Mischievous is a big one. Mischievous is the one that confuses me the most because Mischievous is not a particularly, like... not a particularly powerful Pokemon. Like, why doesn't Morty have one? Why is it locked behind, like, essentially post game? What's the reason for it? Where'd my fucking red shell go? Well. I really tried to dodge that, just in case you were wondering. They all got stuck on the fucking sand dune! Okay. Houndoom. It's not even Johto. No, but they show it to you twice. They show Houndoom to the player twice before they can even get their own. Slugma is also not a Kanto Pokemon. Slugma is, he's only on Cycling Road. 1 lap, huh? Alright. God, Macargo is such a dog shit Pokemon, though. Maybe that's why they put him in Kanto, because they were embarrassed by him. They were like, nobody wants this fucking Pokemon. Nobody wants this Pokemon. But we already made it, sir. Ugh. Alright, fine. Just stick it here, I guess. Cycling Road, sir. Yeah, just fucking get out of my sight. Why did you even make this piece of shit? Well, this is fine. Okay. Oh, yeah. No! Huge. Yama and Crystal. Why is Yama not part of the bug catching contest? Why are none of the Gen 2 bugs part of the bug catching contest? Why? 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 Why are none of them part of it? You catch a Weedle, a Caterpie, a Kakuna, a Metapod, a Beedrill, a Butterfree, a Scyther, a Pinsir. What about Paris? I don't remember if Paris counts. Yeah, okay. Why would you even design something like that if you're gonna void out for it? Put a fucking wall then, jackass. That's just such a, like Lediba, Spinarak, Yenma, these are all Gen 2 bugs. But they're not part of the bug catching contest? I messed up my drift. There's like, there's hints to Gibble's location. One of the hikers on the Cycling Road says there's 2 entrances on this route to the cave. It's up to the player to find it. You know what's really nice? Okay. You know what's really nice about that one in particular? Is that you not only do you get Gibble there, but the TM for Earthquake is also there. So you can get the TM for Earthquake right away. Well, that course sucked. Huh. That was a bad course. Subspace Factory. Wowie. That's pretty neat. Crystal had the odd egg, which was neat. This is kind of wacky looking. Big ass ball, man. Oh shit. He's probably gonna hit me. Bro, I gotta pay attention to even know where to drive here. Oh shit. No, no, I knew that was gonna happen. Where are you going, Sny? Where are you going? Okay, well, we're just gonna do this then. This is a yikes from me, Captain. Yeesh. Yikes. Shoulda woulda is in the beaten path. There's just not a lot of early Gen 2 Pokemon to use. There's like Mareep if you're playing fucking Silver. Where's it Gold? I don't know. All I know is Mareep is not in Crystal for no reason. No fucking reason. Yep. That's good. You can get Wooper. You can get a Wooper. But I think I just think there's a little too many. There's too many obscure, non-evolving Pokemon in Gen 2. And the majority of your team is just comprised of Gen 1 Pokemon you can't do anything with because they evolve by trade or they evolve by Evolution Stone. And for some reason, they were like, Evolution Stones need to be extremely annoying to get now. You're no longer allowed to buy them. Now you have to register Picnic or Lara's fucking phone number and maybe she'll call you and be like, hey, got something for you. And she'll give you her Cucumber, which is a Leaf Stone. And then you can use that to evolve one of your 6 fucking Pokemon you've caught that evolves by Leaf Stone. Yep. That's Gen 2. Is that hyperbole? Not as hyperbole as you'd think, based on my tone of voice. Never said you can evolve post-game to Gen 3. Yes, Fire and Leaf Green did that. Fire and Leaf Green would literally not let you have Pokemon that didn't exist in the Kanto Dex until you got the National Dex. So you could never have Crobat or Blissey. Your Golbat and your Chansey would never evolve until you had the National Dex. Pretty stupid, right? Espeon Umbreon 2. Sonic CD Special Stage. Sunflora is Sunstone. You get a Sunstone from winning the bug catching contest. That was super dumb, I think. You'd be right. You'd be right to think that. Because I don't think Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald had that restriction. Well. Here we are. Dude, I was not good at these special stages. I did not understand them. The draw distance on them made no sense to me. 7 laps. This ain't the vehicle for this, I'll tell you that much. Oh boy. Oh boy. What are you doing? It's pretty satisfying to go fast in. But it's not right. Fucking stop hitting me. Alright, that's not fortunate. Okay. Okay. My turn, bitch. My turn, bitch. Yeah. Fuck, that carried. Ooh. Oh. Oh. Game is on, boys. Game is on. Get out of the grass. How are you in front of me, you baby bitch? Are you kidding me?
Yay! Alright, maybe next time.
Did I win? Yeah, I did, but not very. Daisy got last. Fuck you, Daisy. 15? Oh my god. Alright. Oh, one bad track after another. Oh, yeah, yeah. Alright. Bow wow. It's the off-roader. 3D-URCR. What? What? Backyard garden. Adrastria Station. Hooktail Castle. Ooh, that sounds cool. Cascade Kingdom. Alright. The fuck is 3D CR? I don't know what that means. I'm in the big one. Alright. Oh. Well, that's a good sign if I've ever seen one. Oh, I feel it in my pecs. You're joking. You're joking. You're serious. Everything's out of bounds in the future. Well. Shortcuts? No, there are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. Shortcuts are for losers who don't have good racing abilities. Nope. Why even build up drift? Can you please put me back in the race? Oh, what timing. No. Brake. Hit the brakes! I can't. Oh my god. Sure. Okay. That doesn't help. I can't catch a break. I cannot catch a fucking break. Drostia Station. You need a Drostia Station. It's Mario Kart 8's Rainbow Road. How dare you? You're lying to me. Yo, Spaceland? Fuck, I hate the Spaceland board, but I'd be lying if it said it didn't have a banger track. Whoa! Astounding, isn't it? My arch nemesis. How did your 3 bananas hit me through my 3 bananas? You stupid green bitch. How dare you? You're in a better car than I was. Bye. Bitrate doesn't like this course? Oh. Is it really that intensive? It doesn't look like there's a lot of particle effects. Maybe it's just on the background. I don't know. Oh shit, the music got faster, but it didn't get interrupted. Oh, that's like new tech. I like this course because it lets me actually play Mario Kart on it. Like, I can drift. Isn't that fun? Yeah. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Well, at least I have stopped some of the bleeding. Ha, do 1 push-up every time, streamer. Yep. So 4 push-ups every Grand Prix, right? Haha, yeah, definitely. This Hooktails Castle from Paper Mario. It's a good, it's good. Why'd I do that? Cool track. Oh, we got the room of falling spike that no one has ever actually lost in. Ever. This is cool. These are the kind of tracks I like to see. We got the Hall of Fame on the wall over there. All the party members. What a good game. That Paper Mario, the 1000-Year Door. You have 40 seconds and it's not a maze. Like, there's no way anybody actually gets fucked up by that spike room. It's impossible. You have to sit there and wait for it to happen. Nintendo timers. This mix is quite good, actually. Of course, it's true. It's true, man. Look at the room. You can see the room layout before you even activate the trap. Umbella's picture is covered. Kind of mean-spirited. Alright. Yo, it switched to the boss theme. Oh, that's good. Now it's Hooktail's theme for the last lap. Oh, cool. You could probably squeeze between them. Doubtful. Bang, 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 bang. You want some coins? No. You want a rare badge? No. You want to smell my feet? Oh, yes, yes, very much, yes. The desperation play. It worked. Mario? What do you mean, yes? It's the Cascade Kingdom. Ooh. You know, I was about to say this makes me nostalgic for Odyssey, but Odyssey is only 7 years old. That game came out when I was a young adult, and now I'm an old adult. Bro, I hope we get some info on the next 3D Mario soon. I am eager for the next in the 3D Mario series. I am. You see those little yellow Goombas? Little yellow lads? Tiny little bastards. Goomba guy lives on us all. They're like banana peels. Sunshine 2. Well, no, you won't get a Sunshine 2. But I do wonder about the scale of the next game, right? It always feels like the game is supposed to get larger in size. Odyssey is like a whole world tour. Which isn't larger than a tour around multiple galaxies, mind you, but, you know, whatever. We just, you know, I like Mario games. I like Kirby games. Oh, I do plan on, I plan on, like, revisiting Scarlet and Violet at some point when the Switch 2 comes out. When I get one. When I get one. I will be getting one at some point. I know I will. But, you know, might be able to snag a good deal on one if I wait a little bit. I'm not itching to play Mario Kart. Buy one used. Probably. Stole it. Stole it. Beep. 16? Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Oh my god, it just keeps getting worse. I can't handle this. have to pee. I'll be right back. I'm dying again. Okay. Moving on. We gotta be Dry Bowser. Next is his cup. Spear. This is a terrible fucking idea. Rovio Island, Sky Beach, SMG, Honey Hive Galaxy, Death by Glamour. This is a really bad idea. Okay. Rovio Island. Sure. The spear is very hard to use. Why? Why am I listening to Angry Birds? Wee. Well, okay. Well, that was short-lived. I didn't even do anything. They're still directly behind me. Whoa. Jesus! What the fuck? There's a big ol' angry board. Oh, I didn't lose it. Interesting. Whoa. Spicy. Only 2 laps? That's for the best. Great. There are angry birds on the road. Chad, I forgot what we were talking about before I had to go and do all those push-ups. Oh, jeez. I just noticed the pigs. Alright. Mario 3D, right. Now that I think about it, Mario Kart, I guess it's a Mario game, right? But what is gonna be our first... What's our first big IP, like, switch to exclusive? You could say Donkey Kong, but is Donkey Kong, is that a big Nintendo IP? I don't think so. It's cool that he's kind of like the opener for single-player games, but he's not what I call a big IP. Thank you, Tess, for the resub. Because we're getting Kirby, but Kirby's gonna be, it's Air Ride, so it's a remake, it's just like basically it's a remake of what was originally like a little spin-off game. Metroid Prime 4 is gonna be on both Switch 1 and Switch 2. So is Legends Arceus. Sky Beach by Karen. Oh no, there's a lot of jumps. Alright. I don't think it'll be Zelda. I don't think it'll be Zelda. After Tears... Well, actually, wait. They do have that. There's gonna be another Age of Calamity. I forgot about that. There's another Hyrule Warriors base game. But again, that's a spin-off game. So, all the IPs are getting games. Okay. Alright. For us to have 4th game this soon, like Sploot 3 isn't 5 years old. Insane. We don't need any more fucking Splatoon. Enough! Why are these womps blind? I was done with Splatoon the day it came out. That's right. I'm a hater. That's me. Primo hater right here. Idiot. I really got a blue shell there. Of course they bounce. Of course they bounce. Of course I almost fell in it. No. No. No, no, no. Pick up the speed. Pick it up. Okay. How do you spend $260 on Sploot games? Do they have expensive DLCs? I don't play Sploot. I don't know anything about it. Okay, well, that was fun. Sploot is not for me. I remember watching Christian play Sploot when it first, like, came out. And all I could think to myself was that people don't play this game the way I thought it was supposed to be played. Like, the objective is to cover the area with the most goo for your team, right? But watching him play it, I was like, why do people play this like team deathmatch? Well, people be playing this shit like it's team deathmatch. I'm just like, what are you doing? Is that how you play Splatoon? Well. Okay, I knew the line was somewhere there. Post-Splatfest meltdowns. See, are you telling me that people got angry when their Splatfest team didn't win? Or they get mad about the Splatfest, like, thing? Arms, but actually. I don't know what that means when you say that. Honey Hive Galaxy. Ooh. Ooh. This is cool. Got the whole thing. Ooh, this is awesome. Huh. Which way are we going? I guess this way. It's the boulder hole. The camera could be a little better here. Could zoom out a little bit. Can't really tell where I'm going. Yeah, I trust this mushroom not very much at all. Whoa! Holy shit. Well, alright. Holy fuck. Alright, that whole section is death to the individual. That'll be next lap, though. Is Funky Kong in first? If so, he's very far ahead. Where do you think you're going, you little shit? Oh, God, that was weird. Where the hell did he go? He's so far ahead. How did he get that far ahead? Yeah, throwing red shells at me ain't gonna help you win, bitch. Stop him. He's a menace. Bro, I can't catch him. Oh, and you get the panic theme when the bugaboos invade. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm alive. How did he get so far ahead? Bro, I'm through with this. Why am I in 6th? What happened? I was just playing the fucking game. Why am I losing? Oh my god! Okay. Well. That's okay. Everybody seems to fuck that spot up. Is Funky still, like, wildly in front? Not a single blue shell, by the way. Haven't seen one. Okay, that motherfucker's cheating. There's the blue shell. Faster. Oh! Oh! Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Winner. Now we're... Oh, God. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's okay, I like Death by Glamour. Undertale 7th anniversary. 7th, huh? I got the dog. Goodbye. Great. Okay. Why are we blue? Well. Okay. Alright, okay. Alrighty. I lost my star for this. I want to complain about the spear, but I've gotten first the last 3 races, so like, how am I supposed to complain? That's gonna hit me. No inkage, baby. No inkage. Yeah. Oh! Diddy Kong! I like the dangling dog. It's pretty good. Watch the shot. Bang. It could have been so much better than it was. Okay. Okay. Alright, hold on. Stay on the straight path. Clean! Perfect sweep. I am winner. Here's my prize. Less physical exercise. Baboosh. Raguli. Ragu. And there you go. You are winner. Yes, no, not me. I can only imagine how many tracks are left. But just to say, who cares? We'll get there when we get there. Diddy Kong! Give me the sugar scoop. Egad, Midnight Museum, Candy Bay, Interstellar War, and Cannon City. Okay. Night at the museum. Why do they got mounted heads? The fuck? The hell is this? Mr. I? Mr. IMAX. This is weird. This is really weird. What is this shit? I'm going down. I've seen Night at the Museum once. Do I remember anything about it? No. What are these pictures? Wow. I'm like actually trying to look at all the shit on the wall more than I am doing the race here. That would explain my place. Goofy fish! What's he doing there? Oh god. I want to jump on the ship. Look at these cool ass pictures, dude. And a chunky frame rate. I'm so far behind. Why am I even affected by these? I'm like back here. Give me your shit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where are you gonna drop me off at? Please run out. Yes, thank you. Come on! Go! Fuck. Well, okay. It'll be my head on the wall next. That was pretty bad. Candy Bay. Bro, why is the water like pink? Hey, at least I got the bullet. Just didn't matter. Oh. Ain't it fascinating? Okay. Alright. Boy. See, if you got pink water... Chat, how do you make water pink? So let's assume here for a second that this is like a real place in the Mushroom Kingdom. What would make the water this color? Now you could say candy. You could say sugar. Yeah? But like, it has to form naturally, surely, right? Then again... Okay. Like, I can understand... I can reasonably believe that you built the whole land out of candy. Because I'm a monkey right now, driving a scooter. But... how do you turn the entire surrounding water this shade? Right? How do you do that? Without, you know, disrupting the entire ecosystem. Just a little curious. Wait, did everyone just fucking fall? What the hell just happened? Why is everybody over there? Did every racer fell? Every single one of them. Where are you, streamer? I don't know. Dodge that blue shell. I don't think it's an oil spill, dude. Because, like, it's clearly fine. We're driving in it, right? So it's ingestible. What if it's like sugar water? Does that make sense? My favorite part of Mario Kart Wii is when you literally cannot make the drift on the bike or cart you've selected to the course you're playing. It's really cool. I like that a lot. Well, alright. That was my fault. Well, here we are. In the back of the line. No win in sight. Maybe it was those damn Goombas again. You know how they be. Just hit the ground faster, please. I'm just gonna assume everybody falls in the same spot again, and I catch a lucky break. Yep. I was right. Okay. Alright. The lightning bolt actually helped. Oh my god. The lightning bolt actually helped. It controlled my speed. I did 0.4. 0.4 second difference between me and Birdo. Wow. Oh, thanks. Interstellar War. I don't think we should be racing here. I don't know, man. This doesn't seem like a very good idea. We're in the middle of a war here. Why are we fucking racing go-karts? Team Galactic theme? Alright. Is this nostalgic for you, streamer? No. Yes. Check. For those of you that played Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, do they have any good music tracks? Or was most of the music just kinda there? Like, I think Let's Go. Wow, that's a fast blue shell. I'm pretty sure Let's Go, like the Kanto mixes. Okay. The Kanto mixes were just like, they didn't really stand out. But I don't know, I didn't play that one. Did Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl have any good remixes? Or was the game just... You know, now that I think about it, I don't think I've actually ever heard anybody talk about the gameplay. I know it's a Pokemon game, so the gameplay is expected. But like, no, usually you just kind of hear about all the crazy glitches that made speedrunning silly. But I don't really think I've ever heard anybody talk about their experience playing the game. What? Well, alright then. Ookiki ookie. Ookiki. This... Wow. That was bad. Yeah, do you remember playing it? Do you remember what happens in it? How much of your memory is of that game and not just of the many times you've played Gen 4 in general? Specifically Platinum. Which actually raises an entirely different question. Why the fuck is the game a remake of Diamond and Pearl and not a remake of Platinum? What's that about? Platinum is supposed to be the definitive version. Why would you remake Diamond and Pearl? Unless they did remake Platinum and just called it Diamond and Pearl. I wouldn't know, I didn't play it. What the fuck? Brother. Brother. Anything else? Huh? Any more funny business? Third is fine, I guess. Okay. Alright. But Diamond and Pearl aren't very good. That's the problem. Diamond and Pearl aren't very good. That's why when you play Gen 4, you play Platinum. There's literally no reason to play Diamond and Pearl over Platinum. No reason. This is DKC3 music, I think. Or DKC2. One or the other. It could also be Tropical Freeze or Donkey Kong Country Returns, because Donkey Kong Country Returns loved to just take tracks from the original trilogy and remix them. Oh, God. What the hell is happening? I guess it's canon. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl was a psyop by Game Freak. What does that mean, exactly, streamer? Let me tell you what that fucking means. It means they deliberately outsourced the games and told them that they had to make it bad. So that way people would stop asking for the games to be outsourced. That's why they did it. Because every time a game would come out, they'd be like, Game Freak doesn't even like Pokemon. Give it to somebody who does. And so they gave it to somebody else. It sucked. So now they don't have to do that anymore. They did it. They figured it out. What other possible explanation could there be for why those games are like that? Huh? You tell me. You tell me. But streamer, you say that, but the guys who make Halo don't like Halo. Yeah, that is the world we live in, I suppose. Maybe the people who made Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl don't actually like Pokemon. In which case, why were they chosen to make the game? Why did they accept making the game? The answer is money, I suppose, but I don't know. That red shell had no idea what to do. No idea. That's fake, you idiot. Whatever. Banana. Oh. That didn't hit me? Wow. It's a miracle. Okay. If you didn't play it, how do you have opinions? You're not very smart, are you? Well, I guess I already know the answer to that, so you don't have to bother explaining yourself. You don't have to play a game to know a game is bad, you know. You really don't. That's an idiotic take. You're an idiot. But again, I'm sure you already knew that. You and the whole chat, anyway. Streamer, you can't actually have an opinion on something until you've experienced completely yourself. Like, I've never played a Pokemon game in my life. Oh. Hit him with a big 12. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh my god. I was probably supposed to be more than 12, but who cares? I was 11. I did one more. This guy can't read and calls me an idiot. Well, you know what they say about the pot and the kettle. I did 12. Give me a break. I'm not picking the shooting star again. That one failed. Miserably. Petey Piranha Cup, Boo Lagoon, Chocolate Island, Cloudy Courtway, Gloomy Castle. Boo Lagoon. Man, these ghosts have a fucking, they're just everywhere, huh? Every corner of the Mushroom Kingdom's got some kind of boo land. Oh. Okay. Lavender Town, huh? Well. Spooky. Spooky. This thing kind of fucking just turns, huh? We're just gonna do this so I don't lose it. Man, Lavender Town is quite the nostalgic theme for me. Why did I think I would get away with that? No, I'm just saying that the Mushroom Kingdom has very many places in it that are just haunted. Why are there so many haunted locations in the Mario Kingdom, huh? If I stay in the back of the race, I don't even want to use this. Whoa. Wait, what? Whoa. Yeah, the fucking standard bike L actually just kind of, it has really good just natural turning. I don't have to do anything. Well, what is a boo a ghost of? What exactly is a boo a ghost of? When Koopas die, they turn into skeletons. What are boos? Why are there so many of them? Great. Great. The toads. But that can't be true, because I've seen dead toads. I was going to say they don't try to kill Mario, but one of them definitely threatened to do that. One of them threatened to kill Mario before. Okay, alright. I would love to be back in the race now. Hey, Abu. Hello. It's kind of weird when it's higher pitched. You understand the amount of core strength required to fucking flip yourself over your handlebars like that? I bet you don't. I really don't think you do. I don't know how, but Rosalina is very, very fit. Kind of insane. How do they do it? Swing your whole fucking lower body up. Whoa. Why do people like this character so much? I can't imagine why. I really can't. It's a whole different feeling to this theme. Alright. That on your door had a dead toad who he died in the train or something. I don't know, he was on the train and he liked it. And then he's like, if you read my diary, I will fucking kill you. You know, but he said that in a very PG way. How is Rosalina a godlike entity, though? Wasn't she just... She was just a normal girl who grew up. Her story was in the library. She was a normal girl, and she left for space, and then she wanted to go home. And eventually she grew up, and then never stopped... And then stopped aging at some point, and just became... Like, how does that work? When did she just fucking stop? What if she's actually only like in her mid-40s? That doesn't make any sense because the legend is every 100 years or something, right? 50 or 100 years, the Comet Observatory passes by the planet. And the reason for that is because of Rosalina's nostalgia towards the planet. Dude, I'm 27. Space-time stuff. I don't. You think time just runs a different space? No, that's stupid. You're stupid. Shut up. That doesn't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense is that she decided when she turned, I don't know, 32. She was like, all right, I'm now done aging forever. Which is pretty impressive because I feel like in most terms of fictional characters, they press the stop aging button around the age of 16 to 20. Streamer? Question mark? Listen, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just saying, when you make a character immortal 1,000-year-old being, they usually look like that age range. That's not my fault. I'm just observing. I'm just the observer. I'm not the one who decided. Now, you know, in the Hodai Elixir's case, Kaguya probably, I don't know, well, I mean, Lunarians aside, Moko took it when she was young. And the first sip of the Hodai Elixir, it prevents you from ever getting sick again. Second one, restores and preserves your youth. And the third one makes you true immortal. So, like, I don't know, man. I'm not saying I will want to be immortal, but if one sippy just made it so I could no longer get tummy hurty, I think I'd be on that shit, you know? I think I'd be on that shit. It's weird how it's classified as, like, sips. You take sips and it's like it has each effect, but like, fucking, they were transporting like a barrel of it, and Moko drank out of the barrel. Now, Moko probably didn't drink the entire barrel because that's fucking weird, but she probably just drank it because she knew what it was, but she didn't know how much she had to drink, so she just drank until she couldn't, which would definitely constitute 3 sips. Imagine if she stopped after 1 or 2. Like, she just stopped. So then she wouldn't even exist anymore, actually. If she had stopped before sip 3, she wouldn't exist in modern Toho because she's 1,300 years old. She would have retained her youthful appearance for her whole life and never been able to be ill But that wouldn't have stopped her from being able to die. The thing that would suck about that is that she would still be subject to the same shit that she's subjected to. Because she's immortal, her appearance and age doesn't change. That was kind of insane. I just wish I could have done something more with it. See, if I just touched that, we would have been good. She can't stay in one place for too long because she doesn't age, so as people grow up around her and she doesn't change, they get suspicious and then she has to leave. So she had a very nomadic life until she eventually wandered in against Sokyo. And apparently she spent 300 years or something in Gensokyo, not aware that like Kaguya was living next door to her because of the nature of the mansion, the Hall of Eternity. And then she was like, oh boy! And then she just filled the next 300 years of her life with killing Kaguya over and over and over again. And they just did that in secrecy together until 8 happened. And now they do it in public, which is like annoying. Please don't do that. Look, I get that they're immortal, but like, I don't really want to see. I don't want to see a live leak video when I'm walking through the fucking forest. Like, oh, I gotta go to the doctor's, and I fucking stumble across like a live leak scene, and it's like, oh my god! Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's just Moko, you know? Like, even if I know that she's fine, I'm gonna be like, holy Jesus Christ! But then she's just gonna get up. Well, see you later. You can get used to the sight of stuff like that. I mean, people who work in, like, criminal affairs get used to stuff like that, but, like, I don't want to get used to seeing stuff like that. Imagine you just fucking walk by a corpse, and you're just like, oh, hey, Moko. And she's like... And she just kind of gets up. Well, I've fallen, like, 4 times, but I'm still okay. I'm still okay. The computers are not figuring this one out. Cool. 9 minutes. 9 minutes and 28 seconds. That poor boy. Alright. Gloomy Castle. What the hell is the camera doing? Freak shit. No, Moko and Kaguya's relationship is pretty much figured out at this point. There's been numerous different instances of explanation from it. They still fight. They still fight each other. But in Runegate, Moko overhears about their plan to potentially return to the moon, and she's actually a little worried about that. And then when she finds out through further eavesdropping that they don't intend to leave at all, she feels relief. Like, she actually has a form of worry with Kaguya about her being, like, alone. But Kaguya's also the only person who can really understand her plight of immortality. So there's common ground there. There's also the CDS chapter that... What the fuck? There's also the CDS chapter that explains that sometimes Kaguya sneaks out to the human village, and Moko's the one who's been doing that. Moko knows how to get to Ayante and bust her out and then take her out on the town. So their relationship is not necessarily bad, but it's complicated, I suppose. Chad, I can't see my placing anymore. What? The hell happened to the place marker? Well, alright. The bullet actually goes slower. Well, I mean, same speed. I control the lightning, bitch. Dun 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 dun. I can see my placing again, but like that was weird. All right. No, my placing is back. It just disappears in the castle for some reason. It probably cannot keep track of where anybody is, so it just fucking disappears. I don't really want to keep this. Yep, that's definitely good. Whoa. It's probably keeping track of it internally so it knows what items to give me. Please don't hit me. Where does it come back at? Ooh, that itty bitty bridge. Oh, God. Yep. Put me back in the race. Give me back my placing. Couldn't use it. I have no idea why I just did that. I thought... I don't know what I thought. So, that track sucked. I love when tracks are needlessly confusing. So you get punished on your first play of them. That's a sign of a good track. That's a good track right there, my boy. Babushka. Alright. The desire for immortality is brought upon by the fear of death. Death. Do you fear death? Funky Cup. Oh shit, I have to play Funky Kong for that one. Alright, we're gonna do this out of order. Bowser Jr.'s Fort, Ice Cream Fortress, Rio Resort, Water Island. Bowser Jr. Fort. It was good. Bad guys want to be immortal because they want to rule the world forever. Mogo took it because it was related to Kaguya. To be honest, I don't remember the exact reasons. It's been a while since I've read Runegate. But she knew it was from Kaguya, which is why she followed them up there in the first place. And then she took it. But I don't really remember why. If she took it so she could eventually find Kaguya, or if she took it as a slight to Kaguya, I don't remember exactly why she took it. But also, once Konohana Sakuya had revealed the contents of what they were going to pour into Mount Fuji, Iwakasa and Moko, they woke up to all of the men transporting the elixir dead. Unsure if it was Konohana Sakuya who had done it, or if the men had killed themselves, or each other, in an attempt to claim the elixir for themselves. But then, while it was just Moko and Iwakasa, Moko pushed him downhill, and he tumbled, and that was the end of him. Okay. Because they were descending the mountain. I like how that's the explanation as to why Moko is basically the personification of the mythos of why Mount Fuji is active, because the elixir was supposedly poured into the mountain and it revived the volcano, and that's why Mount Fuji is active. But that didn't happen in the story in Toho, and we have Moko, who has the spell card Fujiyama Volcano. The mountain that they were sent to by Konohana Sakuya was a taller mountain than Mount Fuji, the one that's apparently very likely to be what Yokai Mountain is based on. And whoever was at the top of that mountain, I don't remember her name, but she governed the dead or something like that. Fuck you, Sakuya. I'm like pretty comfortably losing here. Pretty bad. Yeah, just dodged every single one. Okay. I dodged every item block. I could really use a bullet, my guy. It's not a bullet. Okay. Thank you for the raid, Baro. Baby Luigi. My body, my soul. Ice Cream Fortress. Looks pretty good to me. Pink gold peach cup. What a load of crock. No. No, don't go through the donut hole. I'm gonna go off this. Yeah! That actually worked. This shit sounds like Cuphead to me. The geography of Gensokyo is that it loops. If you keep going in one direction in Gensokyo, you end up on the other side of it. Also, there's a lot of places in Gensokyo that aren't actually a part of Gensokyo, but Gensokyo connects to them. Like the Netherworld, or the Underground, and some other third thing. The Underground isn't really a part of Gensokyo, it's just there's a way to the Underground through Gensokyo. Which is weird to think about, actually. But it's true. How many places in the series are actually in Gensokyo? The Bamboo Forest of the Lost, the Scarlet Devil Mansion, the Yokai Mountain. But I don't believe Higan is not part of Gensokyo, but you can end up at Higan through the Forest of Magic, which is just, and it's kind of weird actually. You can go in one direction and end up on the other side, permanently looping, but you can also go like to the end of Gensokyo somehow. Because there's Moenzuka, which is where the barrier is at its weakest and it's easy to fall out of, which makes it dangerous. People don't want to slip out of Gensokyo because they don't know how to get back. But then there's also the Sanzu River, which you can reach as well through Gensokyo, which isn't part of Gensokyo. but also it shouldn't be affected by the barrier, which makes the whole idea that the thing is like a dome that loops it doesn't really make sense, because there's like an end to the dome that is very dangerous. Yet Marissa is the one who confirmed that if you just keep going in one direction, you'll end up on the other side. But that really doesn't make a lot of sense when you think about how Moenzuka works and why Moenzuka is so avoided. It's specifically avoided because it's easy to slip. It's like Moenzuka is considered a location where it's easy to find humans who slip into the border, and you can eat them because they're not part of Gensokyo's sanctions. But yokai don't really go there because Moenzuka, much like how easy it is to end up in Gensokyo there, it's also easy to accidentally fall out. So that's why all the yokai hang out on the road next to it, which is known as the Road to Reconsideration. Because they jump. Did I just see Jesus? Oh, we're in Rio de Janeiro! I'm in Brazil! Ah! Yeah, yeah, yeah! Pretty sure Rio is a very dangerous place. Ay, ay, ay! Kaboom. Okay. The only people who really frequent Moenzuka are Renosuke when he's looking for shit, and Nazrin when she's looking for shit. They're the most active characters there. But yes, the Road to Reconsideration is a location that is mentioned in Perfect Memento and Strict Sense. I like talking about this location primarily because it's so... It and the Road to Liminality are two very underexplored areas in canon. We very rarely see anything at all. But the Road to Reconsideration is probably the darkest area in all of Toho because it's where the grand majority of human yokai related death actually occurs in the series. Because like I said, Gensokyo humans, even though they're not aware of it, are okay. Yokai aren't allowed to eat the humans of the human village, because if they did, they wouldn't have any more humans to fear them. But obviously, the humans aren't allowed to know that. However, humans that slip in against Gensokyo before they are either, you know, sanctioned or sent back are fair game. Those ones are fair game. So, yokai hang out at the Road of Reconsideration because that's where humans are most likely to slip in, and they're free from the established rules. There's also the fact that to yokai, humans taste the greatest when they are suffering from despair. And most of the type of humans that slip into Moenzuka are those of suicidal tendencies or thoughts. And the Road to Reconsideration earned its name by the idea that the humans that end up there have time to think about what it is they were going to do, and often come to the decision that they don't want to, but then that epiphany is cut short because they are devoured by hungry yokai. So it's kind of an ironic name. But yeah, very depressing location that exists in the lore, and it's never really talked about. Water Island. I'd survive Moenzuka. Well, it depends on the yokai that are jumping you, right? That's all. I don't know every single yokai in the world, but I would have to assume that the ones that hang out looking to eat humans do in fact eat humans. That seems like a pretty easy thing to surmise from that explanation. Why was there a hole there, bro? Now, the Road to Liminality is funny to me because with the Road to Liminality, it's basically an ongoing festival. There's just a bunch of stalls that are run there by people serving their sentence in hell, and they run stalls as part of their community service. Yo, Quagsires. New Goomba unlocked. And Krabby! Oh god, it's bouncy. But because they're all, you know, they all fell to hell, they all have bad tendencies. So if any of them are caught cheating or swindling, they get their sentences extended. This is neat. I would not book a room underwater, but it's cool that they exist. You gotta remember, there's a lot of yokai that exist in Gensokyo that we don't see. Not every yokai that exists in the series is a cute girl. There are numerous of them that are actually just creatures, right? It's just the only ones we ever see are the ones that are also part cute girl. There are numerous types of yokai that exist in Gensokyo we've never even seen before. The only ones that are ever highlighted are the ones that are marketable, though. It's true. It's very true. Well then. We got a lightning dodger. Alright. I'm talking about men. You remember that chapter in Sengetsu? The chapter in Sengetsu with the, I think it's the dog that gets a taste for human blood and is becoming a yokai. But Kasen manages to put it on the path of being more of a guardian deity to humans, and it chases the fairies away. That right there is an example of a yokai that doesn't have a human form. Human form is probably something that comes to yokai when they achieve a certain level of intelligence, experience, or age. I think. It might be possible that the only reason why Chen, for example, has a human form is because of her nature as a Shikigami. I don't know if that's true, mind you, but it's plausible, I think. Because, like, Kokoro is a very new Sakumogami. Same with Medicine, but those are different types of yokai. Those are Sakumogami. A Sakumogami is born from an object reaching, well, it's either reaching a certain age, or I guess having a vendetta, or being angry. So, Medicine was born from anger, I believe. The poison gave her life, which that makes sense, doesn't it? Kokoro was probably born of age. She doesn't have resentment. She was probably just born from reaching a certain age. Fogasa was born of vengeance. Even if she doesn't seem like it. As far, well, there's also, Yatsuhashi, Benben, and Raiko are all new Sakumogami as well. They were given life through the Miracle Mallet, and Raiko found a way to preserve that. So, pretty much a good amount of the Sakumogami characters are all pretty new. Or young. The Plain of Atlantis, Mangrove Caverns, Siege on Shore, Lost Ruins. Gotcha. I think this is the last one we're doing, chat. Let's do it. This is the Funky Cup. Just one lap. Oh, great. Slipstream. I can't think of a... Well, actually, I guess On is a new yokai, right? But On always existed, but Okina is the reason she was given life, right? Holy shit, I'm in Atlantis. But to a certain extent, On was aware the whole time, right? But it wasn't until the events of 16 that she was actually given a... I can't see the road. That she was actually given like a yokai form. Fantastic. Good old Funky Kong. Nothing beats that. This is pretty neat so far. Alright. Ouch. Yokai age, or just age in general in Toho. The only real thing that matters, I think... in that regards to that conversation, is that every character except Sumireko is old enough to drink. Okay, alright. Any more things want to hit me? Sumireko is still in high school. She cannot drink. Every other character in the series can drink the alcohol-y. And there you go. Simple as. It'd be pretty difficult. Oh my god, where are we going? It'd be pretty difficult to have characters do things in that series when they're not allowed to drink. Why did I do that? Oh god. Oh god. Excuse me? What? Don't do it. That's bullshit. I fell between the bounce pad. I went between the bounce pad, man. God, those bounce pads are the worst thing in this game. Mangrove Cavern. Flint. No steel. No siree. Pretty sure the oldest character in the series right now is Eren. Because Eren was there when Tsukiyomi was like, man, fuck this gay earth, and then went off to create the Society of Moon Pricks. But he brought Eren with him because Eren was like a trusted advisor. So even when Tsukiyomi created the land of Moon Pricks, Eren was older and wiser than him already. Now, granted, she's taken the elixir of immortality, sure, but she still has been around for that long. She's been around that long, which also makes you wonder how old Kaguya is then. Because Lunarians have naturally long lifespans to begin with, and Eren looks older, so it's reasonable to assume that Eren took the elixir well past her prime, right? Because Kaguya and Moko have retained their youth, but Eren, while immortal as well, you know, she's a hag. She still looks good for her age, but there's no mistaking that she is not youthful. So she probably ended up taking the elixir much further in her life, which means she's old. Pikachu? Pikachu, don't do it! Oh, you little rat bastard. Actually, rat bastard. No, Bowser, help me! I could have went for it. Quiet, nice one. No shortcuts for me. We're just gonna get rid of that. Alright. The elixir returns you to your youth to an yes, but calling Eden like Eden youthful comparatively to the other elixir drinkers is not fair. She doesn't have any wrinkles. It's kind of like Rosalina. Rosalina is in the same position. Rosalina is clearly not, like, aging at all. Well, that's fair. Rosalina is not aging at all, but she certainly doesn't look young. One of those archetypes. The goddess archetype, you could say. That's 15 so far. 15. Well, goodbye. Sagume is very pretty, this is a fact. He's also one of the original gods, according to Kaneko. Well, alright. So she's also very old. But she's also a god. Remember, Lunarians were Earthlings. Well, maybe not all of them. But Lunarians were originally from Earth, and they're like, fuck this place, and they left. So Eden was originally from the Earth, but she became a Lunarian. I didn't know what that was. Alright then. Alright, I see. We got all kinds of crazy tricks going on here, huh? Alright. Ooh. I'm going this way. I'm going the other way. Think I can bump these flowers. Look, man, you don't get to be a goddess by being unattractive. I thought that was pretty obvious. You think if you're like some kind of fucking, like, you literally look like a potato, people are gonna be like, oh, my goddess? No. No, that's not how this works. If you look like that, you're not gonna be a goddess. You're gonna be a yokai. You gotta be pretty. Makes you wonder how Kaneko got the job, doesn't it? Oh, streamer! You can't say that. You'll piss off all 3 what's her name? Kaneko fans. Bring it on. I didn't mean to drive in that little corner, but we're here now, so whatever. Me and you both, baby Luigi. Me and you both. Oh, he did it. He did it. I don't know how he did it. Where are those Kaneko fans? A Kaneko fan would never miss the opportunity to talk about how they like Kaneko more than Suiko. Because that's the only form of conversation they get to have about Kaneko. Kind of a sad thing, isn't it? The only time they get to talk about Kaneko is when they actively have to say that they like her more than Suiko. Otherwise, they don't get to talk about Kaneko. No other avenue of conversation ever comes up besides comparison. Doesn't that suck? Man, if you were a Kaneko fan, that would suck so much. How many more times can I fall before this fucking track ends, bro? This is embarrassing. I like Kaneko more than Suiko. There it is. What'd I tell ya? What'd I tell ya? Like clockwork. Like moths to the flame. Like moths to the flame. That's 16 so far, by the way. Lost Ruins. Ooh. We lost them. And then the boos put up statues. How did these boos put up statues? Oh. Zelda. I can't read the ancient scripture. Fuck you! Why is there a mushroom on the track? Yo, evil red wonk. Whoa. I wonder if this game has any, like, absolute dog shit tracks. Just real garbage. That'd be neat to see, wouldn't it? Let me drive on a pretzel. Grrrr. Grrrr. I'm going in the hole. Bro, I was gonna fucking Akira drift through that and everything. Okay. Alright. What is that? Is that a blood moon? Or is that a pepperoni? Can't tell. Ooh, ooh, yeah. Oh, that's bullshit. I should have taken that from him. I can't get a Korok. Oh, wait, a blood moon is rising. Wait. Wait, that actually was a blood moon. Oh, shit. That's kind of cool, actually. How far does it go? Oh, the evil Goombas! There it is. I can't. Come on, come on. I don't think it's gonna affect anything, but it's cool to see. That keeps happening and it keeps startling me. Pretty cool final track. I like when they change over time like this. Still can't go through the middle of that though. Whoa. Ooh. Alright. 17 is a perfectly acceptable number. Chat, when's the popularity poll? Isn't that supposed to happen soon? This is usually around the time of year where that happens, right? We always get some good content out of that one. Actually pretty close. Alright, well that's 17. Alright, here we go. 17, boys. Alright. Alright, Chad. There you go. So there's still plenty tracks left. But. This is the last stream of this before Mario Kart World. Which means Mario Kart will return. Eventually. We're not done with it. But we will return to it sometime after World. So we're gonna open the spot up for other things. It's good. It's good. I'll see you next race.